Now for the Titans offensively, Matt Hasselbeck obviously will get his second start of the season. Colin McCarthy, good to go. He's back for the Titans on defense, even though he didn't practice. And Corey Kennybritt is expected to play as well.
All right, Dawn, I know it's loud. Don't know if you can hear me. I know the Steeler Nation is there, but the Titans are handing out pink towels of their own. Who's winning at this point?
I hate to say it at this point, Corey, Steelers fans are winning. I see a lot of terrible towels and a lot of black and yellow in this stadium. Let's hope that changes.
With more, Dawn.
Corey, the Preds get a bit healthier. Forward Patrick Hornquist is back in the lineup against Edmonton tonight. He's coming off injured reserve after missing the past 8 games with that shoulder injury. In order to make room for him, the Preds have reassigned defenseman Ryan Ellis to Milwaukee. Now, Horny has 8 points this season, but he's played in just 14 games. And while the Preds have been pretty dismal offensively this year, they have started to show some signs of life, even without Hornquist. Coach Barry Trotz was pretty adamant, though. He said, "You win because of your defense, and everything piggybacks off that." I'm pretty sure the head man will take 5 goals if he can get them here tonight. The Preds just 1 point out of 8th place in the Western Conference standings. Corey, every single point from here on out is huge. Former Titan and former Raven wide receiver Derek Mason. D-Mace, I got to bring this up because last time you were in here, you said Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback. I told you you were crazy. I think I might have to eat my words here tonight. No interceptions in the postseason. You're right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mathematically, they're eliminated from the playoffs, but this is really a chance for this Titans team to show that they're better, that they're more talented than that 4-9 record. I want you to take a look, show you what's going on here at LP Field, about 2.5 hours away from kickoff. Guys already starting to warm up. You can see quarterback Jake Locker throwing some balls, getting ready for his very first Monday Night Football start. National Signing Day is exactly 1 week from today, and things are really starting to heat up on the recruiting trail. Vanderbilt head coach James Franklin is doing his fair share of stirring the pot. He writes, 4-day holdout from camp is now officially over. He is signed. It's a 4-year deal worth a reported $8.3 million. So what took so long? Well, the two sides struggled to agree on guaranteed money in that 4th year. Michael Turner, not an easy guy to take down. Let's talk a little bit more about Colin McCarthy. He did come in the second quarter. All he did was lead your team with 10 tackles, 3 of them for a loss. The kid can play, Coach.
Yeah, he can. He's a natural.
You heard Shea say that things are going to change a lot during the season. You got to remember, all of these teams only had about 6 days of official practice together before they opened up with game play. So you're going to see this Preds team get better. You're going to see them develop more chemistry, and they all said that they hope you see a big difference from their opener on Saturday to their play here tonight. Puck drops at 5 o'clock. I'll have all your post-game coverage coming up tonight on News 2 at 10. Reporting live from Bridgestone Arena, I'm Dawn Davenport for Nashville's News 2. Welcome back to Titans preseason football, brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Here at Raymond James Stadium, the Titans leading the Bucs 20-7 at the break. Now, we saw Jake Locker's first start. He's the only quarterback out of the first 5 drafted last season that didn't get a start last year, but he said he was okay with that he learned to be a better player from Matt Hasselbeck, and that's helped him. But is he ready to be the guy now? Well, he sure sounds like it. Now, Murdoch might not have been well known by Titans fans, but he was certainly well liked by his teammates and by his coaches. GM Rustin Webster said it best today when he said it is indeed a very sad, sad day here at Baptist Sports Park. Former Vanderbilt Commodore Brant Snedeker is playing pretty good golf right now in the PGA. Unfortunately for Sneds, in the last 2 tournaments, there's been someone who has played amazing golf right beside him. Hey, on the sideline here with Chris Johnson, we're dancing to a little Call Me Maybe, yeah? Yeah. All right, CJ, 10 carries, 46 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, you looked good tonight. Did it feel good?
Yeah, it felt good.
Davenport has more from Augusta National.
Well, Corey, Brant Snedeker is adamant he's 100% healthy. Now he's just knocking off the rust, and he told us he feels like his game is exactly where it needs to be for Augusta National.
I think my game's rounded into 4.
Thank you, guys. Let's go racing now right here in Tennessee. NASCAR Sprint Cup Series took over Bristol for the Food City 500. Today was filled with good old-fashioned drama. It's Bristol. That's expected, right? Lap 347, we pick it up. Joey Logano slides up in front with former teammate Denny Hamlin. Hamlin didn't like it. He goes after him, bumps him, sends him spinning into the wall. I'll get back to these two in a bit. Meanwhile, Jeff Gordon running first on lap 390, blows a tire, he's out. Collects Matt Kenseth with him. Bad luck for Kenseth. Final lap, Casey Kane is left standing. He grabs his first win at Bristol, but the boys not done brawling after the race. Logano wanting a word with Hamlin. a nice shoving match to end the day. Corey, when you strictly look at football, at the Titans quarterback position, they're fine. Matt Hasselbeck played well last year. This team overachieved. They went 9-7, and they almost made the playoffs. And of course, Jake Locker is still the future of this franchise, Peyton Manning or not. Now, one thing to note, these guys were not left in the dark. The Titans communicated with both quarterbacks all week long. They're professionals. There should be no hard feelings coming into next season. We'll address the media on this situation tonight. Rads will not be here at the game tonight. He'll fly in late. But what do you think, Corey, guys? Lots of these coming out of the closet tonight. It's been a while.
As a matter of fact, that one came out of my closet this afternoon. It's been sitting there for 3 years. I've been waiting to pull that 47 out.
Great.
No, and I know we've harped on this over and over, how talented this wide receiving corps is
It was
supposed
a
to be.
strength going into the season.
It
It's
was
not now.
And I thought they were terrible today. Drop pass after drop pass. And for Kenny Britt, for Nate Washington, for Jared Cook, you guys are supposed to be the veterans, the leaders at this point, and you're dropping passes you shouldn't.
Fourth member of the broadcast crew. Let's go to Dawn Davenport.
Yeah, evening, guys. Of course, all the talk's going to be on the quarterback battle, but it's a competition Matt Hasselbeck wasn't necessarily sure he was going to get to be a part of at one point this season. That's because the Titans were a major player in the Peyton Manning sweepstakes. Thank you, guys. Well, Coach, slow start for your offense. 2 turnovers early. You saw Matt Hasselbeck. You saw Jake Locker. What are your thoughts?
Well, like you said, it was some bad luck. That first play was just one of those things that would happen once in a
Butch Jones. Guys, after John Gruden, Mike Gundy, and Charlie Strong didn't work out, the Vols turned to 44-year-old Butch Jones from the University of Cincinnati to take over their football program. UT Athletic Director Dave Hart said he didn't meet face-to-face with Jones until 10 p.m. last night, and that meeting lasted until the wee hours of the morning. This series is being billed as the best netminder duel in the postseason. The Predators' Pekka Rinne versus the Coyotes' Mike Smith. The two have combined in the playoffs to save almost 95% of the shots they've faced.
Yeah, guys, figuring out this 53-man roster is ever-changing for this Titans coaching staff, and injuries do play into it. Pro Bowl return man Mark Mariani suffered a brutal year-ending compound fracture in his left leg in last week's game. That pretty much solidifies a spot on this team for running back Darius Raynaud, but it also opens up questions at wide receiver. Now, the NFL has suspended Kenny Britt for 1 game. That means the Titans could head into week 1 with just 4 wideouts. Because of that, head coach Mike Munchak says he wants to see more out of those guys here tonight. Guys like Lavelle Hawkins and Damian Williams will have an opportunity to make some plays.
The night before Christmas, and all through this town, Titans coaches and fans can't help but to frown. Sunday was rough for QB Jake Locker. Sacked 7 times. Can he please get a blocker? An embarrassing 55-7 loss to Green Bay has owner Bud Adams now screaming, "No way." Mr. Adams wants answers. Hey, he's the boss. 10 losses so far. Will he give Munch a toss? The paper's Jim Wyatt asked him his thoughts. He said he'll meet with the coach and then call the shots. Now, Mike Munchak exclaims, "Hold on, not so fast. The reasons we struggled this season are vast." Coach Munch joined us on his show tonight and talked about his job security plight.
I'll have a sit down with Mr. Adams.
So this season just hasn't turned out how the Titans thought it should. With just 1 game left, can they make good? Next Sunday, it's the Jags. Into Nashville they'll fly. Without wideout Cecil Shorts, Chad Henne wants to cry. Shorts was put on IR today. He's done for the year. Too many concussions. His head wasn't clear. It's Titans and Jags on Sunday in town. Last chance to make up for that Green Bay beatdown. Across the NFL, man, this is happy news to report. Colts head coach Chuck Pagano is back in the sport. Pagano fought leukemia all season long and returned to the team this morning looking quite strong. He'll coach their finale against the Texans next week. He says he's glad to be back and can't wait to critique.
like a kid in a candy store. I feel very honored.
To college hoops we go for Christmas Eve's sake. No highlights to show you. Our teams get a break. Vandy gets Butler on Saturday night. The Vols get Xavier. Should be a good fight. Now, what to our wondering eyes should appear? It's the latest top 25 poll. Duke's having a year. Michigan stays in that 2 spot, but Louisville jumps to 4. Pitino has taught. With just 1 loss on the season, Indiana is 5. The Hoosiers are looking very alive. As for the SEC, it's newcomer Missouri that jumps from 12 up to 7. That's quite a bump. The Gators are still in the top 25, but Kentucky not quite. They're still looking to thrive. So my Christmas Eve sports is done. I hope that's all right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Very nice. Very well.
Welcome back. There's an old saying in life that challenges are just a matter of choice. Not many people have lived up to that mantra, like Nashville's own David Metter. He faced the impossible not once, but 3 times, and won thanks to the right choices and the right people. A round of golf in David Metter's shoes doesn't sound all that different than any other round.
Great ball.
I am, smelling the grass and the ground underfoot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm feeling that same grass and ground. I'm hearing the birds in the distance and the trees and the like.
But what he physically sees isn't what most of us would off the tee box.
Okay, bucket us.
In reality, a round of golf for David Metter for the past 46 years looks something like this.
At 1 in the morning, we 60 miles an hour just simply ran out of road. We were crested over the top of a hill, and before you know it, we crashed at the end of a T street and out into a country field, and my head hit the dash, and optic nerve was crushed. When you know and you're told that you will never see again because of this optic nerve that was crushed, you know without doubt golf is out of the question. Driving a car is out of the question. Doing a lot of things out of the question. Don't dwell on that because it's just not going to be. But my father thought differently. I'll never forget that first shot. It was a 7-iron, and it exploded off the club face. 140 yards right down the middle into my distant future. To me, it's at that moment my whole world opened up.
I'm going to move the ball up in your stance just a little bit just to accommodate for the hill.
Thank you,
Is
sir.
that okay?
The 3-time blind golf national champion says life is now all about partnership. Crucial with his coach on the course, with his friends, with his wife, Connie. Giving to those partnerships motivates him, and he says it's helped him to win 2 vicious, life-changing battles with Hodgkin's disease and colon cancer.
It isn't that I raised my hand, for cancer. I didn't volunteer for it. And I didn't raise my hand or volunteer for blindness, either. So, just as in other people, you, Don, or others have had different adversities thrust upon you, you do the best you can with what you have, and oftentimes it turns out to be some of the best life experiences that you will ever have.
Your feet are a little open to the target.
That's okay.
But everything looks good.
Other people have given me, their best. So I must say that I'm very indebted to people who have believed in me, and that drives me forward.
That drive will be capped off this week when David is honored with the Ben Hogan Award, given to an individual active in golf despite illness or disability. He'll receive the award in the same town as Augusta National, a pristine, majestic, and visually immaculate course. But then again, that's what life always looks like for David Metter.
I know it's gorgeous, but you know what? Every course that I'm on is just that gorgeous. So I see it more frequently than probably than most people.
And so it is the blind golfer who makes us all see.
It's a majestic game. It's a game where the ball soars and flies a longer distance than in any other sport. And don't you think I'm not missing it? I'm seeing it 100% of the time.
Got it. Boom.
Good.
Good putt, David.
All right. That's good.
Amazing man. David Metter has also written an autobiography. It's called Broken Eyes, Broken Spirit. Worth the read. Really good.
Extremely, extremely humbling. You're going to be going with David down to Augusta National this week.
That's right. We are leaving tomorrow for the Masters. A couple of storylines there, but David is also getting his award, the Ben Hogan Award there, and we're going to be there at that dinner when he gets that award. So it's going to be pretty neat.